Hey everyone, in this video I'd like to share with you what we're going to be doing here in Chapter 10 back in WebAssign. So Chapter 10 is going to focus on dealing with loans and simple interest is going to be our main topic here. Essentially, Chapter 10, we're going to look at just the first two sections only, Section 1 and Section 2. And I even have broken Section 1 down into two parts just to keep it sort of consolidated and precise for what we want to be looking at for each one here. So back in the first part of Section 1, we're going to look at how do we compute simple interest for a loan. And really the only factor in this is going to be how is this going to be broken out in time? Is it going to be years? Is it going to be months? Or is it going to be days? So these are some things we're going to talk about and share in this video here. So a couple things we want to make sure we're clear on is some vocabulary. Principal. First of all, let's talk about that. That's the amount you're going to borrow. So let's say I want to borrow $5,000. That's going to be called principal. I'm going to pay the bank or credit union back their interest rate that they're going to charge me to loan that money. Again, that's going to be in a percent form. So maybe you are borrowing money for a car. So that car loan is going to be 4%. So that is the interest rate. The other factor involved that I mentioned in the previous slide is the time. Well, how long is the loan going to be? And again, it could be in days, it could be in months, it could be in years. And we'll explain how you sort of control that and what you do. But in the long run, interest. This is what you're paying back on top of the principal. So if you're borrowing $5,000, yeah, you're going to pay that $5,000 back, plus you're going to pay the interest based upon the rate and the time. A couple things to remember here if you're shopping for a car and you've got to deal with a loan. The higher the rate, the more interest you pay. The longer it goes, the more interest you pay. The bigger the principal. So car versus home, there's a vast difference on the amount there. So again, you pay more interest with that. So everything's sort of interconnected, and that's an important topic to understand with this. In this chapter, we are focusing just on simple interest. This would be an example for like a car loan, a mortgage, a student loan. Compound interest is going to be dealing with like credit cards. They calculate that differently. We're going to save that for another day. But here is my formula to calculate my simple interest formula. Take my interest. To find that, you're just multiplying all three of those things together. And again, it seems pretty straightforward. There's just a few things we have to watch and make sure we're doing right as we go through this. So a couple things we want to talk about is the time. That is the variable on this. So when they give us some information here for our problems, they're going to give us a principal, a dollar amount, they're going to give us a rate. And then they're going to give us how long is the loan going to be. A couple things. So first of all, if it's greater than a year, if they say 2 years, we're just going to be using 2 as a multiplier. If it's 1.5, we're going to be using 1.5. So we're going to be converting that to a decimal. I'll show you some examples on that here in a minute. If the time factor is in months, okay, so let's say you have 1 month the loan is for. So all you're going to be doing is putting whatever that number is over 12. Again, 5 months, you have a 5 over 12. So again, just to keep that in mind, okay, years are just going to keep the same. Months you have to divide by 12. Now, as far as a couple things to take a look at here, let me jump back out to our book here. Again, here's our formula that we want to go back and look at. The simple interest formula for years, again, just to repeat that a little bit, a 2-year loan is going to be 2, 3 years is going to be 3, 1.5. See how they convert that back to 1.5? 4 3/4 is 4.75. So again, you're converting that to a decimal. So down here we have a few more examples of the 1 month loan. You're putting 1 over 12, 2 is 2 over 12. You don't have to worry about breaking it down to the lowest common denominator. That's not really critical in this point. You're just going to be dividing this. Okay, a 5-month loan is 5 over 12. If it's bigger than, if it's like in 18 months, 24 months, you're just putting that 18 over 12. Okay, so there's no need to break that down. So when I calculate this, here's a problem. So here's my principal, $8,000. My 9% interest for 1 year, because it's a year and they're labeling it as a year. I can leave it like that. So I'm just simply going to multiply these three things together. In this case, the example shown where they are breaking the 9% down to a decimal format. If you're doing this on your calculator, you can break it down to a decimal, or you can leave it as 9% times 1. So in this case, I'm going to pay $720 on top of my principal of $8,000 if it takes me a year to pay that back. Here's another problem with this, where I have a principal of $16,500 and I have 12.5%. Well, again, what we want to do is we need to convert that 0.5% back to 0.5. So we would word this as 12.5%. And again, this is going to be months. So again, we know up front that we're going to be putting probably a 12 underneath that 7 with this. So let me just show down here a solution strategy on this. So again, here's my principal. I converted this to 12.5 back to 0.125. It's back to a decimal, or I can leave it at 12.5%. And then here's where I'm putting 7 over top of 12. So I simply would multiply these all out. So again, I take my principal times my rate, and then I take my 7 divided by 12. So again, this is coming back. So this is going to be the amount that I'm going to pay on this loan. So that is the solution strategy. Down here, a little bit further, we have a couple other problems here we can look at. 4,000 is my principal, straightforward on that, 7%, leave it at 7%, or you can convert it back to a decimal. If you're doing 2 1/4 years, the only thing you have to worry about is you have to fix the quarter. You've got to convert that back to a percent. So that would be 2.25 years when we're doing this. Principal for the second one is 45,000. Again, here's my rate, 9 3/4. So again, if I took 3 divided by 4 is 0.75. So my rate is 9.75%. If I have months, I know I'm putting 12 underneath there, so it's 3 over 12. And again, here's an example where they have 42 months, so you're putting 12. So let me show you the solution strategies for these three. So as I said before here on that first one, the 4,000 times 7% is what I'm given right here. The only thing that's a little bit tricky where you have to break things down is this 2 1/4. You've got to move that to 2.25. The second problem, you've got to change that 3/4 back to 0.75. And again, in this case, they've converted that back to a decimal format. 3 months, you know you have to take 3 divided by 12 with that. And again, because there's not really a concern about order of operations here, you can just go through and multiply these out. And then, when you get to the 3 in this problem, you can then divide by 12, and it's going to come back to this number here. The final problem is, again, the larger number over 12. Again, 42 over 12 is how we're going to list that. So again, if I'm multiplying this out in a calculator, 130,000 times 0.104 times 42 divided by 12. Again, you can just work left to right. There's no worries about the order of operations on this. This will all work out for you, and this is what you want to do. So you certainly want to try this a little bit to make sure you understand how this is going to work. Now, the next variable on this is going to be dealing with what happens when time is a day, when they give like days. So really, there's a couple things we need to worry about with this. Let me jump down to this and show you this. So there's two things we're going to have to worry about. So in the problem, when they give me some information, they're going to say either exact interest or ordinary interest. And that's going to determine what number we're going to use to divide by the number of days. Again, most lenders work on either the exact or ordinary. They'll specify on this. Essentially, if you have the exact interest, you're going to take the number of days divided by 365. Ordinary is going to be 360. That's the only thing you have to worry about. So let me show you an example with this, what we mean. So again, here's our problem. We have a principal right here of 24,500, 8% for 119 days. Here's my problem. It's going to say exact interest. Because that's an exact interest, we are putting in the exact number of days in the year, which is 365. I will try to stay away from problems maybe with a leap year, but if you're using a leap year, it's going to go to 366. But again, it will specify in the problem here. So to break this down, you take your principal times your rate times your time. So this is how you would write this out for your time factor. Because it's an exact interest, you're doing 365. Here's your number of days. This follows the same thing as months, except that number 12 at the very bottom for months may not always be the same. If you go to a problem where they talk about ordinary interest, okay, same thing. Here's where you have to go back and make the difference. They do not use 365, they use 360 as the bottom number of this fraction out here for the ordinary interest. Same principle on this, 13,000 times your 9.5% times 200 divided by 360 would give me the amount of interest that I'm going to earn on that loan. This is the only thing you have to be careful about, and when you work through section 1.1, the very first part of section 1, this is what we're going to be doing. So just make sure you're watching for these words when you see the number of days. You're either going to have one or two. It's either going to be ordinary or it's going to be exact. If it's exact, you're dividing by 365. If it's ordinary, you're dividing by 360. Hope this video helps. Good luck with the problems, and please use your book as a reference. Again, there's a lot of things out there where you can master it and you can work through the problems. Good luck.